Welcome to another edition of Straight Shooting Sports Talk, and I'm your host, Dujane Bland. And as always, we like to talk a lot of NFL, especially when it's football season, and we're getting right back to it. We're going to talk about Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos against Andrew Luck and the Indianapolis Colts. Yes, he's going back to Lucas Oil Stadium. Peyton Manning goes home and is going to try and light it up in that stadium. Now, Peyton's going to downplay it. We know that. But this is a big game. And when you look at the Broncos and that football team on the offense, Peyton Manning is doing an excellent job finding all of his targets. Doesn't matter who you are. Run a route. Run it crisp. Get open. And he's going to find you. Wes Welker was the guy last week. But it could be any guy any week with Peyton Manning. And the running game is looking smooth over there. Defensively, they were able to do a little bit better job than what they did against the Dallas Cowboys. And they tightened up a little bit, enabling them to get a win against a struggling Jaguars football team. Now, we take a look at the Indianapolis Colts, and Andrew Luck didn't have such a great night on Monday night. Struggled a little bit. I think the whole team struggled a little bit. Phillip Rivers really moved the ball quite well against this defense, but I think it had a lot to do with the fact that that defense was out there a bit too much. Well, when you look at this matchup, yes, it is in Lucas Oil Stadium. I expect the atmosphere to be very high, but I think, once again, as long as you give Peyton Manning a lot of time with the football, he's going to be able to score points. And I don't think that Andrew Luck can be able to keep up with Peyton Manning in that pace that they like to put on football teams. In this matchup, I'm definitely going to go with the Denver Broncos. Yes, their defense has struggled, but with this trade of Trent Richardson, they haven't exactly proven to me yet that that run game is enough to scare anyone and to not make the defense force them to be able to pass the ball. And when you're one-dimensional, it plays right into the defense's hands because they don't have to do anything but pressure your quarterback, make sure they cover on the back end. Very simple. And I think John Fox and that football team will actually do an excellent job of trying to make Andrew Luck one-dimensional and put a lot of pressure on him passing the football. It's going to be a great matchup, though. So I hope you guys do not miss that matchup. Well, now, let's take a look at some other matchups around the league. We're going to start with the 49ers and the Titans. 49ers 4-2, Titans 3-3. Titans have been hanging in there, really not getting that running game going the way they would like. San Francisco starting to get back on track. Kaepernick looking good and looking better and better each week. I'm going to take the 49ers in this matchup. Houston and the Chiefs. Chiefs 6-0. Houston 2-4. Injury riddled. They don't have a quarterback over there. Arian Foster. Andre Johnson. Not enough for this complete team in the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm taking the Kansas City Chiefs in that matchup. We look at the Ravens and the Steelers. Two teams that can't figure out who they are from week to week. Ravens made a critical mistake early in a football game by not taking a field goal. Come back to bite them in the butt at the end and lose by the field goal, which would have won them the game. Steelers came out, put on a show, was able to get Sanders involved in the passing game, scoring a few touchdowns, taking the win. I'm going to take the Steelers in this one. Can't trust the Baltimore Ravens. But look at the Browns and the Packers. Packers didn't look so great, in my opinion, against the Ravens. They had several opportunities to really blow the game open. Did not. But on the other side of the ball, we have Brandon Whedon. They're going to stick with this guy. He has the weapons that he needs to get the job done. I just don't trust him. I don't trust him enough, and I don't trust him enough against a team that can get out on you really fast in Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. I'm going to take the Packers in that matchup. Last but not least, the woeful Giants and the woeful Minnesota Vikings. Toss up, kinda. But the Giants have a better quarterback. And with that being said, I'm going to have to say I believe in Eli this week. They're at home, and I think they'll finally get off the schneid and get a win against a Vikings football team that just can't seem to get it done offensively. Well, that's our look around the league. Hope you enjoy the matchups that'll be coming up this weekend. Next matchup we're going to be looking at is not an intriguing matchup on paper, but it's a must-win for one team involved. And we're going to be looking at the 1-4 Atlanta Falcons versus the 0-5 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, Tampa Bay going through a lot of changes, a lot of turmoil over there, but the young quarterback, Glennon, seems to be doing an excellent job trying to pass the ball and do what he needs to do to get wins. It's a young guy just trying to make it in this league and get his feet wet over there in Tampa Bay. Now, the Atlanta Falcons, high hopes, looking to go to the playoffs and do more as far as getting to the Super Bowl. And they've gotten off to a terrible start. 1-4 here. They lose Julio Jones. Roddy White has been hurt. Steven Jackson has been hurt. It's been a very, very tumultuous start to the season, but they have to get a win against a struggling Buccaneers football team. This is absolutely a must win in the sense that you're looking at the Saints in the backside because they're looking at you in the rearview mirror. Some way, somehow, they're going to have to step it up with no Julio. You're going to have to find a way to make plays. Other guys are going to have to step up. It's that next man up mentality. Now, with two disappointing losses that they've had back to back, I expect this football team to come out and get it done and take advantage of a football team that they should beat. You look at that team on offense, they still got weapons. They got young guys that have stepped up and come in and done a very good job. They're going to have to take the pressure off of Matt Ryan. He cannot be throwing that much in a football game, and the defense has got to give them some help by getting turnovers. And you can expect this young quarterback in Glennon and this Tampa Bay Buccaneer football team will give you opportunities to have turnovers. Now, they don't have anything to lose is the scary part. Defensively, they have talent over there. And on the offensive side of the ball, they have talent. But what are the Atlanta Falcons going to do? That is the question. Well, we're going to see on Sunday. But I am going to take the Atlanta Falcons in this football game because I think they know what the magnitude of this football game is and what it means if they go 1-5 in this division. It's going to be a long road to try to make the playoffs. So you can expect that they will be ready in this football game. Well, we thank you once again for watching our show. We appreciate all our viewers that view our show. And as always, if you have something you'd like to discuss in regards to this show, please leave it at the bottom of our show and we'll keep the dialogue going with you. Now, if there's any topics you'd like to discuss or hear discussed on this show, or something you'd like to just simply hear our take on, shoot us an email to straightshootingst@gmail.com. Please do it. We encourage the participation here. And as always, subscribe to the show. Again, you've been watching Straight Shooting Sports Talk.